Well, it seems like the Steven Spielberg that we all know and love has been gone for some time. I think with Bridge of Spies and now The Post, we're as close as ever to the golden age Spielberg that we used to all know and love. A lot of Spielberg fans have a particular era of films from the man himself. Whether it's his classic blockbusters from the 70s and 80s to his more powerful dramas in the 90s, I think everyone kind of came to the same conclusion that the 2000s kind of brought Spielberg down a bit, where things started to seem a bit more by the numbers, Indy 4, and we sort of lost a lot of the magic that Spielberg was really known for, where he just didn't seem as young and passionate as he used to be. But his recent films have brought him into a new era where he's telling these more mature, political thrillers that I think are very good for him. And I think The Post is a great example of the kind of films that Spielberg should be making today. The film tells the true story of the New York Times and Washington Post, publishing government papers acknowledging that the US government knew they were losing the Vietnam War. That's a quick generalization, but that's the gist of it. Meryl Streep plays Kay Graham, who is the owner and head of the Washington Post. She has a lot at stake when the Pentagon Papers come, where her family's legacy is threatened if she does publish them, as well as facing a lot of scrutiny because she is a female head of a major paper in the 1970s. Tom Hanks plays Ben Bradley, who's the editor-in-chief of the Washington Post and is pretty dedicated to publishing these papers and getting the word out to the people. Getting these actors involved is obviously a part of what makes The Post such an incredible film from Spielberg. Obviously, getting Meryl Streep, you're getting the best of the best. And adding Spielberg's golden boy Tom Hanks is just a formula for success. In addition, you have Bob Odenkirk, who's one of my favorites, as the guy who discovers the Pentagon Papers and brings them to the Washington Post. There were a few times that Saul Goodman slipped out, which I'm sure is intentional, but as a nod to Breaking Bad fans, there were definitely a few great moments. The film does have a bit of a bizarre first act as it sets up the drama with the Vietnam War and the competition between the different newspapers. It's a bit fluffy in introducing you to the characters and who everyone is and the part they played in this whole event. And while the government isn't outright presented as a villain, it does bring into question freedom of the press and the control of free speech, which I'm sure many people will have drawn parallels to today's politics. While the introduction of the film is a bit fluffy, once the Washington Post gets their hands on the papers, bam, it's off to the races and the film becomes riveting. This becomes probably one of the best political thrillers that I've seen in a very long time. There were times where it felt like I was watching JFK. It was really enthralling. There are many times where the characters are insecure about the results of posting the papers, what it means for their careers, and Spielberg tells so much of this effortlessly through his camera movements and John Williams' wonderful score. Whether it's the classic Spielberg whanna or the camera spiraling around Meryl Streep as she has conflicting thoughts and opinions on what to do with the papers. Everything just comes across masterfully done because, hey, it's Spielberg, it's no surprise. The whole film is gorgeous, shot on film with a grey filter which gives it this really raw, dense and very rich picture and really makes you feel like you're a part of the newsroom of the Times. Spielberg's attention to detail with the making and pressing of papers and machinery of the 1970s is ever present with many close-ups of printers and presses that doesn't make it seem obnoxious. And while there are a couple of on-the-nose moments, particularly towards the end, everything in the film is done rather respectfully, and best of all, it maintains the Spielberg magic that we all know and love and that we all grew up with. If I'd caught this in 2017, this probably would have cracked my top 10 of the year, and it's definitely a return to the 1990s Spielberg that we saw making films during that period. The Post gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you liked this review. If you did like this review, do remember to hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment down below in the comments section. Have you seen The Post or were you planning to see The Post? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, do hit the subscribe button with the bell next to it, which will remind you of when the Mono Report uploads new content. And don't forget you can follow the Mono Report on Facebook and Twitter at the Mono Report. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to stay right here for your Mono Fix. Bye, guys.